Hi, this is Amrita from BizAsiaLive.com, and I'm joined by the lovely Vivek Oberoi to talk about Inside Edge Season 3, which is coming soon. Hi, Vivek, how are you?
Hi, Amrita, and you are looking lovely, by the way.
Oh, thank you. So are you with the moustache.
Thank you. That's the new look for the next show that I'm doing called Dharavi Bank, which I'm shooting right now. So that's the look for that character.
Amazing. It's so lovely to talk to you. I feel like it's taken me years to get to this point where I actually get to interview Vivek Oberoi.
Oh, wow. That's so sweet of you to say. I'm touched. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. So just to touch on Inside Edge Season 3, which is an exciting new season coming to the already popular web show on Amazon Prime Video. Your character, Vikrant Dhawan, kind of had a bit of a shorter role, should I say, in the second season. What do we expect from the third?
Well, so Amrita, spot on. So I think Vikrant Dhawan's journey has been this guy with absolute power in the first season, the power being taken away from him at the end of the first season. The second season is all about establishing the power above the power, which you only heard over a phone call in the first season, which was Bhai Saab's character. So it was building up Bhai Saab and exposing the audience to Bhai Saab's empire and his limitless power. And then you have Vikrant throwing down the gauntlet, saying that I'm coming for you. So third season is the full, clashing of the bulls, right? All testosterone out there. The two guys determined to destroy each other. Vikrant looking for vengeance, wanting to claim back everything that's his. And that was what was the most exciting part about shooting season 3. I also liked, as an actor, the fact that you get to see layers of Vikrant Dhawan. You get to see the character, what's behind him, right? What makes him tick. So I always say, like, there's a visible scar on his face, but there's also scars within that make Vikrant Dhawan who he is. And that's what I love about the writing of this season, that you get to peek into his soul, if I may, and understand what makes him tick, what makes him behave the way he is. So that's exciting too. And then aside from that, it's India versus Pakistan test match. It doesn't get bigger than that.
Absolutely. I was going to ask you, actually, because in terms of character development, obviously it's a web show, so we do get to see, in a way, more layers. But as an actor, what's the most exciting part of having such a character, which you're going into season 3 with?
Well, spot on as far as the writing is concerned. It's an amazing boon to be able to go so deep and layer upon layer. And it's also a big responsibility, because when you do a season and a character becomes a big success, you have fans of the show, then you also have fans who are fans of the character specifically. Now, they want you to hold the essence or the spirit of the character to be the same in the second season, but yet you can't do exactly what you did in the first season. So there has to be an evolution. So it's kind of a conflict between wanting to evolve, but yet keep some essence of the same. And that's always a challenge. As an actor, it's a delicious challenge, right? Why Vikrant Dhawan? Because I like my chocolates and my characters deliciously dark. I enjoy the conflicts that he has. I enjoy the clarity that he has. I love that he's so radical in his thought process. He's all about the game, winning it, right? And as long as he's in the game, he knows he can turn the tables anytime. He's a fighter, he's a survivor, and I really respect that about him.
Absolutely. Now, we've seen you in negatively shaded characters previously. I think the one that sticks out in my mind is Krish. But with Vikrant, is there anything that you feel is similar to the real Vivek?
Well, I think we're both fighters. We're both survivors. We've both been through our own journeys, whether it's been alienation, being ostracized or bullied, or whatever you may call it. We've both been through those, and Vikrant, of course, chose a path of destruction, the blaze of glory, and Vivek, I think, chooses a part of nurturing, saying that the ecosystem that I missed, the guy I could reach out to if I needed help, that I missed. I said, let me take that mantle. Let me take that role. It's no point just complaining about, there's nobody doing this in my industry. Be the guy to be that. Be the guy to do that in the industry. And there are so many kids who come to me when I say kids, I mean, they're just sometimes 20 years my junior, 10 years my juniors. They reach out to me with their issues, their problems, and without really having the whole, big God complex story of, I gave this guy a break or I sorted this guy's problems out. I believe more in a collaborative exercise. I believe in no hierarchies. I believe in equal respect. There could be somebody who's been in the industry for 2 days, and I could be somebody who's been in the industry for 20 years. But that doesn't really change. There shouldn't be any play of ego there. There's no pecking order in creativity. Creativity is all about just freshness and giving and taking and collaborating and doing something new all the time. And that's how pure it should be.
Absolutely. Actually, that leads me on to my next question quite nicely, because I was going to say that there are actors in Inside Edge that have come into the industry and started acting after you. So what have you learned from your co-actors of Inside Edge?
Well, it's been amazing. I mean, it's not so much as just learning, but it's also, like I said, creating together, co-creating, right? Getting together and doing that. And Inside Edge was one of those sets where we led by example. I'll give you small examples. Like when we came on set, there was no hierarchy, right? Everybody just came in together. Everybody did all the readings together. Everybody did all the workshops together. We worked together, right? I remember when Tanuj was coming out on his first day, I remember he was nervous and I insisted on the first shoot to be with me. And I really nurtured him through it and, kept giving him the confidence that he needed. And then now when he's flying, and especially after the end of the first season, when I saw the kind of response Vayu got, the fan following, I was so happy. I was so joyous for Tanuj. And I celebrate him now. And there are times where people like Tanuj or Akshay, who's my cousin brother, who's doing so well right now, or other actors, if I'm not doing a show, for example, or a film for whatever reasons, financial, dates, etc., I pick up the phone to them and say, listen, I'm going to be bowing out of this one. I think you should take over. I think this would be a good story for you.
Yeah, absolutely. My final question, because I think, hello?
Damn.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, all right. Sorry, I lost you for a minute, but now we're back.
That's fine, no problem. Thank you. Just my final question. You're marking 20 years of company next year, which means 20 years of Vivek Oberoi. I have to ask you, in the time that you've been in the industry, if there was something you had known before you came into it, what would it have been? What would you wish it would have been?
Well, if I had known that my industry, if I had not been blissfully unaware or naive about, oh, this is one big family. If I had not been that way, I think I would have been a lot more calculated, maybe a lot more careful. But then that's not my nature. So I don't really know if that would have helped me. But that is something that I make people aware of. It's pretty utilitarian. If you're useful, if there's a utility for you, there's a space for you. Otherwise, you're out. It's a marketplace. And you have to be honest with yourself and not to be extremely idealistic with that aspect, if you can. I think the kids of today are much sharper. They're much emotionally stronger. They've already seen rejection on Instagram. They've experienced that. They've overcome that with aplomb. So I think they're a lot better off than we were back in the day, where everything somebody who was an icon to you said hit you really hard because you grew up idolizing them. But then you got to wake up and realize and grow up and realize that that's just being romantic. That's being naive. At the end of the day, it's a marketplace.
Absolutely. That's a great lesson to give. Thank you very much. It's been lovely talking to you, and I look forward to season 3.
Thank you, Amrita.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.